My name is Tomura Shigaraki, and I despise heroes. I was born with a deadly quirk. I force everything I touch to decay, and harm everything that I come in contact with. I lost everything I loved due to my cursed ability. I am forever burdened to carry the weight of my actions, bound to pay for my old crimes, my original sin. The primary source of my paranoia, I have experienced the deepest fathoms of depression. I loathe the irritation of discomfort and the annoyance of my itch. In my opinion, living is painful. It is unjust being defeated by the hero constantly, having his friends beat you over and over without remorse, until your flesh crumbles and until your mind loses consciousness. I was burnt alive and torched up close by the so-called #1 hero, Endeavor. However, I was able to momentarily conquer his fire. I was immune to Gran Torino's Earth's Mirage. In the process, I gained an invincibly nimble attack. I got used to crushing bones and slamming bodies. I even ended up fighting with Ryuko Tatsuma, a formidable dragon hero. All the while defending against Midoriya's Black Whip, a monstrous beast with a firm grip. I tried my best to escape his deadly web, and endured a mighty punch from the inheritor of One for All. I faced off against multiple threats, including Shota Aizawa, a canceller of powers. When push came to shove, ladies and gentlemen, I came down with a malicious intent, aiming to destroy everything and everyone. I was not going to spare any breathing soul. My first victim, these wannabe heroes. Their grounds shall disintegrate, and their corpses will vanish. Towns will be turned into dust in seconds. I will lay waste to anything which exists. From the particles of the earth to the energy of life, whatever is within the proximity of my decay will be obliterated. In a sense, my quirk is able to delete or remove anything which comes in contact. If all 5 fingers are given permission, your neck ceases to exist. Your skin will peel and your soul will be taken from you, right before your eyes. An eye for an eye and a life for a life. I know now that there are consequences to every action, a price for every sinister incident. I understood the purpose of battle when I faced off against Stain, the hero killer. Trust me when I say this. War is inevitable. The ego must fight to prove dominance. Evil shall unleash hell before the hour strikes. I once led a rampage of rodents, a battle for ultimate supremacy, to determine who moves the plot and dictates the story. To find out who was the main character. Sadly, I lost and escaped barely hanging on. I enjoyed battling with those who were worthy, those who were devoted and determined. Even if I was losing, I did not lose faith. Even when I was burning, I did not quit. I held on long enough to await a helping hand. A safety measure was installed inside my core system. In case of extreme danger, the inbuilt program releases a code to connect to All for One's mainframe, thereby accessing his previous powers. Back during the fight with All Might, Master saved me from my mistake. He sent me to another realm to protect me. I thought he had abandoned me, but he knew I wasn't ready. He foresaw my future potential and revenge, and bestowed upon me his favorite quirk, a powerful shield which I wield with honor. I used his powers to cancel the functionality of the network by removing the sound waves and vibration in the air. I inherited stolen powers since I was an empty vessel. The master was one whose bowl was empty, who stole essence from other quirk users. After my transformation, no one can defeat me one-on-one, not even the #1 hero. I can regenerate and heal myself in seconds. Had my operation been a complete success, I would have been untouchable. I was denied of my full metamorphosis. During my hibernation, certain individuals hijacked the building and started to raid our operation. They halted the growth of a monster and ended up paying the price for it. Collateral damage was bound to occur. On that day, my inner wrath was fueled, and the welcoming of death was met with joy. The agenda of evil was always detailed. Behind the shadows there existed a Dark Lord, a one-man army, a true villain to his root. As evil as the extent good has improved, as powerful as an immortal, as clairvoyant and prophetic. I was the final piece of the fulfillment of a prophecy, the promise of an everlasting dark entity. I was shackled to the gates of hell and submerged in excruciating agony. No one chooses to be a villain. Life pushes you to the limit, and then grants you the opportunity to gain vengeance. The purpose is to hunt before you are hunted, and kill without hesitation. The only initiation towards evil and villainy was through sin. Those who have blood on their hands and whose consciousness weigh heavy. Those with a psychopathic tendency to yearn for blood. My goal was to achieve the real bloodlust of a villain and show others the grim destiny of defeat. I have accepted this harsh world. I went up against corrupt organizations and devastated weak buildings. The towers have fallen in my presence, and the head of the Liberation Army was made vulnerable. With a single touch, the earth rattles. I gained more authority and status after every battle. The former ruler was dethroned by a radical usurper. That was me, a prince of the former emperor, an inheritor of the Guardian, the roaring protector Gigantomachia, the judge of value and capacity. It was stubborn. It does not give you a break until you give up. But not me. I never did, and as a result, I never dropped my guard. I became constantly aware of my surrounding. Everything became clear and tacit. It was once construed and disordered. I remember days where I was panic-stricken, lost for words. I didn't know who to turn to until he showed up. He had trust in me, even though I was poor and broke. I was a shattered soul in need of a home. I destroyed my home along with my family. I abhorred all things pleasant and desirable. Violence was chosen to combat me. I, in turn, retaliated for the years of anguish and months of stress. I did lament for their death. I will remember their image. But I am no longer enslaved to my emotions. I may be a broken man, but at least I gained my independence. I was a successful outcast of society. On that day, I made it as a rookie villain. On that hour, I saw. And my vision was finally clear. My jump was phenomenal. The earth was a witness to it. My flight was graceful, even the winds would testify, and my combat skills, what more needs to be said, they were on point. My movement has always been top-notch. My only weakness was my previous body. I was once a fragile guy, an impatient fool who rushed into battle, and found out the hard way I was never the smartest or the brightest. What can I say? I was a flawed human being, an anomaly to the foundation. I was a rebel by design, a mutineer, a reckless hunter. I watched on as life ignored my presence and ridiculed my actions. I was made fun of because of my looks and disrespected for how I acted. I was even betrayed and threatened by my own comrades. I joined hands with those who shared my goal and strategically removed all who defied. My operation was supposed to be a success. Why did I go through all the suffering and agony? Why did the heroes have to ruin everything? Why? Again and again, time after time, they don't know when to quit. There was nothing I despised more than heroes. Him most of all might. He always ruined my plans. Truth be told, I envied the relationship they had. In a world full of quirks and powerful talents, these two quirkless souls found each other. I do not hate them, but I can't stand their pretentious attitude. From the moment I met them, I knew they were the chief cause of my demise. I wasn't one to let things go. No, especially after I was forcibly submitted against my own will. There was hell to pay, and someone had to atone. After the great battle between the leaders of heroes and villains, a secret was revealed which could shift the tides of battle. When this succeeds, the past will no longer matter. I will no longer need to chase after my lost dreams. The nagging irritation will subside. The persistent itching will be alleviated, and the ravenous hunger will be satisfied. It was written that evil will reign supreme. The reincarnated Nomu will return. Every despicable hero which disobeys me will be disposed of. They will all lose something precious to them. However, it is the cruel fate of irony which tends to backfire, where one must give something of equal value to gain something as worthy. Before one leads an army, one must first be treated as a feeble slave. Life is never easy or fair. No one comes out unscathed. In all my time as a villain, I have never seen anyone who benefited from war, or anyone who survived tragedies. It is not easy being a villain. Sometimes it is suffocating. You just want to give up, but that is when you find out who you truly are, and what you are truly capable of doing. Only then can you push past your limits and pursue your wildest ambition of pure destruction. A fateful encounter was foretold. A meeting between two legends. A broken man and a lonely king.